do you think that we could be possibly putting in a falling channel or a falling wedge of sorts?
No. No. I think if you put in a lower high here, I think we're coming down fast and quick to the Kijun.
Hey guys, Krish'as here. Please be cautious of any fake comments and emails you may receive from people pretending to be Mango Research. Sean and I will never, ever contact you for investment opportunities or anything of that sort. To get in touch with the real Mango team, make sure to join our official Discord chat using the link in the description below. Stay safe out there, and remember, do it Mango. And what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krish'as, and this is today's Bitcoin and MATIC analysis video. I have Sean with me today. Sean, say hi.
Good morning, everyone. And hey, welcome back to the Mango Grove. It's Friday, Krish'as.
That's right. Getting into the weekend, and Bitcoin is looking interesting. Now, we're going to try and keep this one to the point. So on today's agenda, guys, of course, we're going to be starting off with Bitcoin, specifically on the dashboard. I want to tell you what Bitcoin's trend on the dashboard is showing us. I mean, you can see it right here. But along with that, we'll also be going over MATIC on the dashboard. I want to see what the returns are on MATIC. When did we get that next trend switch? So we'll be going over that. Of course, we're going to be going over the charts as well. And yeah, to the point. Now, guys, remember, if you want us to cover any of the altcoins that you are looking at, take this opportunity to get down to the comment section and tell us which altcoin you are looking at. Okay, if you have to just pause the video right now, go and get down to the comment section and type in your favorite altcoin. Go ahead and do it, because a popular vote wins. So
Indeed.
Sean, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Oh, you ready? So the one time I
dashboard.
wasn't here, Bitcoin dumped.
Krish'as, you weren't here to hold up the price.
I know, right?
How did you enjoy your break, by the way?
It was good. It was good. I was just out and about. I got us some snacks. That's all I do when I go out. I just eat.
Krish'as comes home like Santa with a bag full of snacks each time. So Krish'as, I'm really enjoying these ticker symbols right over here on top of the dashboard. It's been so convenient to keep an eye on how the markets, the overall macro markets, have been essentially moving and behaving, because hey, money flow does dictate how crypto is going to move as well. And for the most part, we are seeing pretty flat price action, which is pretty good, right? For those of you following the altcoin markets, you guys are looking for Bitcoin to stay relatively flat. So you see your altcoins have that nice move to the upside, right? Well, you kind of can look for something similar. We're seeing Dixie pretty much flat for the past week. Yields over the past week, even though we had a rally over the weekend, pretty much flat over this entire week. And we could be in for some nice action leading into September, in my opinion, in the crypto market. So things are looking really good. As you guys can see, over the past 2 weeks now, we have flipped long on several of the coins. A couple of interesting things we did notice yesterday in the live stream you missed, Krish'as, Luna, and there was another coin, IoTX. These guys flipped long 19 to 20 days ago, leading the markets, right? So these were the first ones to run. And you can see 440% up on IoTX, and Luna's a good, you can just use I'm not sure why I don't. Luna's up a good 100% as well, right?
That's insane.
Yeah, so Bitcoin and Ethereum still doing pretty good. Ethereum fantastic, up 40%. But Krish'as, what's the altcoin of the day?
MATIC. So let me go and
Ooh, MATIC's on the Mango View as well, by the way. So that's going to be interesting. MATIC up 30% and long 13 days ago. So we're seeing the markets move together, right? We had a couple of front runners, or rather leaders in the market. So Krish'as, what are your thoughts?
So MATIC guys switched long 13 days ago. If you caught a trade on that, you're up 30%. What I'm really liking about this, and this is such a tell on the crypto market in general, is that when things start to move, and they move fast and they move hard, right? So 30% gain on this is freaking phenomenal, but against Bitcoin, it's still in neutral territory, right? Because Bitcoin USDT here, which you guys need to understand, is that Bitcoin too gave us that long trend change 17 days ago, right? And that too, Sean, is 20% up, right? So if you're looking at Bitcoin versus MATIC, I mean, it's sort of negligible there, and makes sense that that trend is still neutral, right? That
Only in
MATIC hasn't
crypto.
really started trending harder than Bitcoin, not yet. It's not in that juncture right now. So so far the trend on both MATIC and Bitcoin, they're looking good. And you know what? I was doing some cursory sort of analysis, and I sort of agree that Bitcoin is looking interesting. So with that, let's get into the charts, Sean. Right. So we'll tell them what it is that we're looking at. By the way, guys, if you didn't catch Sean's live stream from yesterday, I believe you uploaded that one. Did you?
Yes, it is uploaded.
Yeah, so definitely go ahead and check that out because Sean covers like a bunch of altcoins, and of course there's always gold and nuggets in his live streams. So go ahead and give that one a watch. So as far as Bitcoin is concerned, this is the weekly time frame. Now, Sean, I don't know, my cursory analysis from today, I feel like Bitcoin is looking very, very strong on the weekly time frame. But as soon as you start boiling down to those lower time frames, you can see that resistance step in, right? So what I'm noticing here is that if I just get on over to the daily, perfect, here we are, the daily time frame, and well, I go ahead, put on that Ichimoku cloud. You'll notice that, okay, we got the Tenkin over the Kijun, that is looking good. Let me go ahead, put on my 10 SMA, and what do you see there? If I just zoom into this price action, you'll notice that price on this dump came all the way down to that 10 simple moving average, and that white line, by the way, that you see there, that is the 10 simple. We've also lost the 200 simple, only for price to sort of get that bounce on the 10 SMA. So far, I think it's looking decent. I know that there was a breakdown point, but from my cursory analysis, Sean, it appears that we've sort of plunged through that breakdown point, right? What are your thoughts right now on the daily time frame?
So in yesterday's live stream, Krish'as, we did talk about how we essentially this 200 moving average has not been a major region that I've been paying attention to. I've been paying attention to most of the fact that other people have been paying attention to it, right? What I was concerned about was the resistance overhead that we had on the daily as well as on the 2-day above the 200 moving average, and that's coming in from the cloud. So if you turn on your cloud, right, you're gonna see right over there, Krish'as, that was more important to me. If you turn on your 2-day time frame, I won't do that right now, but if you turn on your 2-day, you're gonna see that, hey, we have 2-day resistance as well. We have the 2-day Kijun. In fact, let's go ahead and quickly switch on. And right over here, Krish'as, you can see that we have the 2-day Kijun and the top of the cloud.
Yeah.
And I was expecting resistance over there. And I said this specifically in yesterday's live stream. If there was any place that we look for a local top, it would be around this region. But now keep in mind, it's still not confirmed as a top, not a local top either, not on the 2-day time frame. Perhaps on the daily time frame, we have seen that breakdown underneath the 200 moving average. But like you said, Krish'as, we do have support over there underneath on the 10 SMA. Right, and we will dive even lower into the 4-hour time frames on TradingView, but for now I want to switch on over to the 4-day time frame.
Before you switch on over to the 4-day, Sean, the 2-day, notice what's happened to the cloud there at the end.
Yeah, it reflipped.
Right, so we flipped bearish once again. So that's another signature that I caught on this chart. So that's something to watch out for.
Definitely something to watch out for, because we are up against resistance over here and critical resistance. Because Krish'as, this is also the breakdown point that you've been talking about now ever since we came all the way down over here, right? Yeah. This was that key point that you said, hey, I'm looking for Bitcoin to break above this region before I tilt bullish. Right. So we are seeing that resistance over here. The cloud is also pricing that in, saying that, hey, if we do get rejected over here, this is going to flip bearish, right? We don't have that confirmation of the thick cloud just yet, similar to how we did not have the confirmation of the thick green cloud when we flipped, right? So I want to start seeing the cloud widen up one way or the other. We're not seeing that right now. This is indicating indecision from the trend. Consolidation essentially, but we are consolidating against resistance. We are not seeing that rejection yet, that hard rejection just yet. Okay, so I do want to go on over to the 4-day time frame, Krish'as, really quick, and I do want to highlight how we have been holding that Kijun now for the past 2 4-day candles. We just closed a 4-day candle. This is a brand new 4-day candle that we opened up today, and the candle prior we closed above, right? Yes, we did see some resistance off that daily 200 moving the top of the daily cloud, as well as closing underneath the daily 200 moving average, but we held the 4-day Kijun. I believe the 4-day Kijun has been playing more of a influence than people think. Now the Tenkin is also beginning to angle up. The 10 simple moving average over here is aggressively moving towards the upside, so I want to see this move towards price action above the cloud, as well as the Tenkin coming and crossing above the Kijun. Once we get all of that, we're going to get a similar signature that we're looking for that we saw on Bitcoin's daily back at $10,000, right? We don't have it just yet, but if we do get that, I'm going to feel a lot more confident on my trend trade. So 4-day holding that Kijun, I'm really liking that. If we turn on the 21 EMA, we can see that pretty much all of our trend resistance lines now are underneath us, right? We have the cloud as well that is underneath us at the moment. But what is this indicating to us? This is indicating to us that unless price makes a move within the next 4-day candles, couple of 4-day candles soon, right? We need to close above 45,000 pretty soon. Otherwise, we're losing trend. We're going to lose that momentum. So momentum needs to pick up in the next couple of 4-day candles, because if not, we're going to go back into the cloud, and the cloud is going to be resistance one more time.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm going to be looking for us to visit the Tenkin at least another time.
Yeah. What about the 4-day SNR? Is that showing us anything?
So let's turn off all the
EMAs. let's do that. And this is essentially what you know, I sort of noticed earlier today, was the fact that, you know, it's these higher time frames that's making Bitcoin look very good. But, you know, the lower, when you boil down onto the lower time frames, you know, that picture gets a little bit more neutral than bullish. So let's go ahead, put on the 4-day SNR.
And you can see that we're holding above it. Oh, by the way, guys, this is a nice quality of life update that we have included on the dashboard. As you guys can see now, the 4-day SNRs are colored with a more mango golden color, while the weekly SNRs are a pure white. This will allow you guys to differentiate between your support and resistances if you guys have both of them on at the same time. So if you do turn on them both, Krish'as, you can see that we are at the moment living in between a zone of support and resistance, right? So we're playing the higher time frames. Support's all the way down over here. This was the zone to be accumulating a position as soon as we broke out. And Krish'as, this is essentially your cup and handle too that you've been talking about, right?
Exactly. And yeah, especially this region right here, where we saw confluence on the 4-day as well as the weekly levels. So that was an amazing area to actually be accumulating on. So that's when that's why Mango, we primarily look for those regions of confluence, because those turn out to be extremely strong regions to build your positions on. Either accumulate or distribute. Now, yeah, this is Bitcoin on the 4-day time frame. Now, we wanted to sort of take you to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, at this point, some of those lower time frames. For that, we're going to go on over to TradingView. Okay, so here we are. So this is Bitcoin on the 12. I'm going to take you quickly on over to the daily, and then we'll go on over to the 4-hour, because there was one region that I'd sort of drawn out for you right over here, which came in at around $45,000. How did I get that region? Well, number one, I sort of plotted that in by looking at this last daily candle that we had, and I pretty much drew in the midpoint right there of that daily candle. So what I was really expecting was, I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me see where price is relative to that halfway point of the last daily candle. And so far, Sean, we're hovering over it. Right,
so basically the bulls are essentially trying to retake or reclaim yesterday's midpoint.
Exactly. So I think if we manage to close over that region, we could see another sort of push the upside. But to really get a good gauge on that, let's get on over to the 4-hour time frame. Right,
and that's essentially the neckline that we were talking about in the live stream yesterday too. Again, yeah, the fact that we've literally had a top-like formation over here, Krish'as, M-like formation, broke underneath the neckline, not seeing much of a follow-through. I believe we've lost the 4-hour Tenkin as well as the 21 EMA. Yeah, we lost them both. Now, if we reclaim the Tenkin, so we reclaimed the 21 EMA already, right? But we haven't reclaimed the Tenkin just yet. But if we do that, I think we'll be shooting back for the top of the range over here. We did make that C-SPAN trade all the way down to around $42,000, and that would have been a key level for the bears to be targeting at the very least, and for the bulls to be defending.
Yeah.
So if I were not aggressive as a bull, if I was not looking to be a buyer, I wanted to be a little bit more cautious, I wouldn't be looking to step in at these prices around your 43,000. I'd be looking at 42,000. And why? Well, you have a C-SPAN trade on the lower time frames, but Krish'as, you also have a confluence on, well, the higher time frames. We can start all the way at the monthly, in fact. Let's do that. I want people to keep their eyes on the picture over here. And what's the monthly open of the monthly close of the previous month? And we're seeing it's so much easier to do this on the Mango view. But yeah, we're seeing it's around 41,600, which is essentially 42,000, right? Yes. Give or take take a few $100s because it is the monthly time frame. So $42,000 is coming in as monthly support. I believe on the weekly too, we'll see it as a key level. Where's $42,000? It's somewhere around here, right? I wonder, where is the 21 EMA? Let's go ahead and turn on
It's
your
just the first one,
Ichimoku. And no, the 21 EMA is coming in a bit lower at around $40,000. We do have Tenkin resistance though, Krisha. So yeah, I do think that the fact that the bulls have managed to, at least temporarily, stop this from coming down to that 40K, 42,000 region, it's a good sign. And not, or rather, let's put it this way, it's not the best sign for the bears. Because if there was any point at which they should be looking for a rejection, it should be from over here. Now, does that mean that I am saying, hey, that's it, we are making our way towards the upside? No, I'm not saying that just yet, because we still do have a lot of time for those mid time frames to play out, and the 4-day, Krisha, only just opened, right? It's looking good, but until we take out these highs over here, I wouldn't be getting too gung-ho on further price action towards the upside. What would you be looking for, Krisha, to say, hey, I think we're going up from here?
The green box territory. I think I've been very, very steadfast on that.
But it's because what time frame?
So right now, okay, you know what? I'm gonna really build this on the daily. Right? If I start seeing strength along this region, even on the daily time frame, I want to see consecutive candle body closes within this region, or hell, even over this region. That would be freaking phenomenal. But as soon as I start seeing the bulls hold that level and hold it well, top of the cloud on the daily, okay, let's go on over to the 2-day. Where is that? You can see that price got rejected. Now this has become a point of resistance now, even on the 2-day time frame. And notice how we had that Kijun sweeping in right there. Right, so we start seeing strength on that region as well. I'm like, all right, so you know what? The bulls are ready to take out that point of rejection right there. Okay, how about the 3-day time frame? What
top of the cloud? Top
of the cloud, as well as the Kijun. You can see the Kijun sweeping in right there. Right, so even if I start seeing consecutive daily candle body closes, I think that the bulls want to take this up even further. But I think in the interim, leading up to the next couple of days, getting into the weekend. Now, would you agree with me in that that double this M-like formation has been negated now that we've gotten back up over the breakdown point?
Yeah, I think so.
Right. So what are your thoughts? Let's have some fun with this. Right? Do you think that, okay? Here's what I am postulating. If price actually manages to take back the Tenkin, okay, which comes in right now at around 45,270, if we manage to close over that, then I'll be looking for another push to the upside. We could either take out these highs, or hell, we could put in a lower high, okay? At which point do you think that we could be possibly putting in a falling channel or a falling wedge of sorts?
No. No. I think if you put in a lower high here, I think we're coming down fast and quick to the Kijun.
Yeah.
If you put in a lower high here, this is essentially gonna be a trend that failed to reverse, right? And I'd be very confident as a bear to be looking for that move, especially at these lows. So essentially I'd be hunting for a lower high here, right? Somewhere around this region. And if I get that lower high bid, I'd be going aggressively on these lows. Once they get taken out, I'd be using the momentum to add to my position to short that aggressively and essentially take this entire leg of profits and close position around $42,000. I would not be holding position into $42,000. Once we start clearing those levels though, underneath probably your zone over here, yeah, that is 40. Yeah, so this orange horizontal over here is around $40,000, lining up with that weekly 21 EMA too, right? So once we start giving up that level too on the daily time frame, then I'd be looking to, hey, start looking for more short positions. But as a bear right now, I wouldn't be too aggressive. But if I get that trade, this is a trade as for bear right here.
Okay, you know what? I actually really like that. Also, there's another thing that when Sean actually drew this out, it triggered. If you sort of really have to look at the price psychology of this, combined with this, and if price puts in a lower high, look at it as if you just look at the bottom diagonal, that would look like a drooping sort of neckline of sorts. Exactly. And a drooping neckline, guys, on a technical standpoint, is a sign of growing technical weakness on the chart. At which point, even when the move to the downside does come, Sean is right. it's going to happen fast.
Yeah.
It's going to happen fast. And you know what? Yeah, I stand corrected there. I think Kijun could very well be the next sort of stop for Bitcoin. So keep your eyes peeled on how we really react off of these highs. Do we get up here? Do we take it out because we put in a lower high? Then, you know, be careful, be prudent, be very, very prudent with the next position that you take to the upside if you're positioned to the upside. But yeah, this is pretty much Bitcoin. So let's talk about targets perhaps on those higher time frames.
Yeah, so again, let's keep it simple, guys. Same story that we discussed in yesterday's video. We have resistance overhead. I want you guys to be keeping an eye on the 2-day specifically because it gives you guys a good midpoint between the 4-day time frame and a little bit higher than the daily time frame, and things are lining up, right? So we have resistance over here. This is not the point where you want to get aggressive. This is the point where the bears need to step in, and this is the point where the bulls need to, if you're on the sidelines, right, just wait for the bulls to reclaim the zone over here. If you do reclaim, because in terms of upside targets, we are at the target. Right. This is the only target. Okay, all right, that's it. If you're a trend trader, you have no targets, right? Your target is, hey, as long as a trend stays bullish. And at the moment, the high time frames are still in a bull trend, right? We are making high highs, high lows. As for support and resistance, this is resistance.
Yeah.
Right. And if we were to come down, we come down from over here. Downside targets could be all the way down to around 40,000 to 42,000, right? We have monthly support there, weekly support, and 2-day 21 EMA is coming in around that region as well, Krish'as, right? So again, use the 2-day time frame as your guide, in my opinion. If you're playing the trend, the 4-day time frame is, in my opinion, the best time frame to be looking at. It's looking fantastic. We're living above the Kijun. Tenkin is not above the Kijun just yet, but as soon as we take out these highs over here at around 46,000, I'd be looking for trend continuation all the way up to 52,000. This does line up with your targets of, hey, if we take out that green box territory on the daily time frame, 52,000 is one of your targets. Also lining up, by the way, guys, with the Mango dashboard level around here, 52,000.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys are seeing a lot of confluence between the dashboard and Mango's manual analysis. So yeah, Krish'as, those are my upside and downside targets. Downside 40 to 42,000. Upside, if we break this zone, then 52,000.
Brilliant. And I am in agreement with those levels. So guys, keep your eyes peeled on well, how price unfolds on this chart, depending on whether we take out these highs here, right? That is going to be the major tell. If we put in another higher low on those lower time frames, then there's a good chance that that 4-hour C-span trade sees a follow through. Okay, keep it very, very, very simple for yourself. Now, Sean, are you ready to get on over to MATIC?
Let's do it, automatic.
Perfectamundo. And now, guys, remember, if you want us to cover any of the altcoins that you are looking at, take this time to get down to the comments section and tell us which altcoin you want us to cover. And of course, the popular vote wins.
And hey, Jack, I just want to say I appreciate you too, man. Right back at you. Tan Swan in here as well, saying thanks as always for the video. Read through the helped and removed about 6 to... Oh, thank you so much, Tan. Thank you so much for helping out. Oh, by the way, big shout out to the seedlings, to AJ, to Samson, to Randy, and there's someone in there as well. Skip. Who was in there? There was a 4th guy in there. They all got together in the Seed Clubhouse, and they had a study session together, right? Wow. I saw AJ sharing his screen, and it really warmed my heart to see these guys get together on their own, because Randy did PM me last night with the idea, and I'm like, man, go for it. I encourage it. That's what the Seed Clubhouse is in there for. So it's usually some of the veterans that get in there and have discussions, but now I'm seeing people take initiative and lead the newer guys. So thank you so much, AJ. I really, 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 really appreciate what you're doing, man. You're being a mentor to the rest of the seedlings. So yeah, and shout out to Andrew as well for all the help.
Freaking great initiatives.
Man, we have such a great community, man.
Blessed. Seriously.
We're blessed. So blessed. We gotta really take care of what we have. Yeah, Krish'as, you want to start off with MATIC on the dashboard?
Yeah, let's do it. The ticker, the MATIC ticker, has been added to the dashboard. So now remember, MATIC on the dashboard right now, we are still in a bullish territory. This flipped long 13 days ago. You took the trade. You're up 30%. Sweet.
Ooh,
MATIC BTC,
on
however,
the hot list.
Yeah, but neutral still.
On BTC, so I
Okie
think
dokes.
altcoins are gonna be interesting though. September. Let's see.
You know what? Bitcoin dominance.
I may
like,
flip my position. So, by the way, I want to give a heads up to people and let them know that you can't come into these videos, watch one of them, right? Like V2 daily videos, and the charts are evolving every single day. I may flip my opinion tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So you guys can't watch one video and be like, come back like a month from now and be like, hey, is Sean still bullish on altcoins over Bitcoin? Because I may flip my position tomorrow. That's what happened with Bitcoin's monthly close. We had that great monthly close, and I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm flipping bullish, and I start taking trend trades. I'll flip my opinion in a heartbeat. So if you guys are following the daily videos and taking calls based on that, you guys need to watch the videos evolve.
Exactly, and please don't be thumbnail traders, guys. Bitcoin dominance, you know, to feed into that little altcoin narrative of yours, is Bitcoin dominance is sort of ticking down. It's been very, it's like edging itself down. So that's also a very interesting thing there. So okay, let's get on over to MATIC's chart, shall we?
Let's do it.
Perfect. So here we are. This is the Bitcoin chart. Let's get on over to MATIC. Now, Sean, MATIC, is it available to everybody or is it just the premium members?
It's the premium members.
Okay, cool. So premium members, you have access to MATIC, and what's going to be really wicked about this is that now you are going to be able to draw in your automatic support and resistance lines. So that's going to be freaking trippy as hell. All right, so MATIC USDT on the weekly. I think the weekly is looking absolutely phenomenal here. We saw that amazing reversal, right? So let me just go ahead and draw in some horizontals for you guys. So I believe we have one right around here. Right, and okay, Sean, the next one, honestly, only
Krish'as too cool for the support, for the automatic support and resistance. She's like, no, I will not be replaced.
I want to see what the range is like, you know, when we sort of plot in our support and resistance. And right now what this is telling me is that it's freaking volatile. This entire range for MATIC right now is a volatile range. But now let's perhaps, you know, turn on those SNR regions. MATIC is a volatile chart, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the 4-day. And what do you know, Sean? What do you know? Confluence!
Is it drawing in the support underneath as well?
Let's move this line.
Oh, wow, okay.
What do you know? What do you know? Okay, so you know what that means? You know? Well, you know what that means. I can just erase it.
This was rigged.
I can just erase it. There you go.
You're not needed, Krisha. You've been replaced.
Dispensable. But okay, you know what? I agree with this.
So hold up. This is interesting, though. You drew your support and resistance, Krisha, with your eye.
Yeah.
Base of the weekly, but this is the 4-day SNR, so that's confluence as well, right?
Yeah.
And I really like that, because the thing is, guys, as human beings, we're going to notice things that one, may not be right, but two, may be correct, but the algorithms may not pick up. But when you see confluence between what the algorithms are telling you and what you are seeing, right, that's wrong. Right?
Yeah.
In fact, Ray Dalio talks about this in his book, Principles. This is why he really, in a way, right, Ray Dalio is a huge advocate of indicators.
Right.
Right, because essentially his system, like, he'll have a complex system, right, that where all the checkbox needs to be ticked off. And if all the checkboxes are ticked off, then his algorithm, essentially, which is a system, will say, hey, bullish or bearish, right?
Right.
But if there is a dissonance between what he believes and what his system believes, then that's something that he needs to question, and he will always err to the side of his system as opposed to him, because he knows that human beings are fallible. Right, but when there's confluence, he feels that much more confidence in the trade that he needs to take. Now, I'm simplifying this, of course, but essentially, guys, that's essentially why I always say be more objective, and that's why I recommend indicators for people. Indicators and support and resistance lines, because they're more objective. Trend lines, for example, are a lot more subjective. You can move them around to fit your human bias, your human emotions, right? But whenever you are in doubt and you're wondering, hey, should I be trusting my indicator? Should I be trusting my gut feeling? If you are new, especially, trust your indicators instead. it's one of the reasons why the Mango dynamic too the Mango dynamic is essentially my system of trading. That's why I trust it more than I trust me, because I know my system will keep me in check.
Yeah.
So essentially, long story short, when you see confluence between your gut feeling and
your
indicators,
yeah,
that's strength.
Yeah, no, I agree there. I think that's really, really good advice. A lot of times, well, I remember when I was new, I used to apply so many biases on the chart, and I used to get so wrecked when I actually had another sort of system on the chart. In fact, I had built systems for myself when I was actually filling out a journal, and even then, that journal, fine, well, it had a system, it led to an entire rule set because I was so bad at following my system. I used to let my biases just jump in. So one thing led to another, and yeah.
Yeah, it's if experience will tell you anything, it will tell you that if you had simply just followed the system, you would have been better off in the long run.
Exactly.
And there's no experienced trader that will disagree with that.
Yeah. True words have never been spoken. Okay, so Sean, are you ready to what are your thoughts on this? I mean, I've told them that, you know what, I think this is going to be a volatile zone right now.
My thoughts are that So you know how you drew in your support and resistance with your eye just by looking at the chart on the weekly, and it lined up. I do see resistance right over here. I guess that's a midpoint resistance, but it's also the breakdown point that you likely see on the lower time frames that the weekly isn't catching, and I think we are currently at resistance. Just looking at structure over here, this does look good for the continuation, but not just yet, in my opinion. I think I want to see that weekly close, because this could simply be a lower high on the weekly time frame. What Matic has going for it at the moment is the fact that the rest of the market is looking really good, and leading to September, I'm going to be really interested in Matic. In fact, Krisha, we can turn on our 21 EMA, and okay, right over there, it's underneath. That's a good sign. Let's turn on the Ichimoku levels. Tenkin and Kijun is right overhead, so right over there we do have resistance. But okay, so this is the way I'm looking at it. If you're accumulating a position for a trend trade around the 21 EMA, the support zone over here. So Krisha, you see the support zone that you marked out? No, actually, this is the automatic level, right? Yes, it is. So let's turn off everything, and we can turn on the 21 EM and the 55. So if you were looking to accumulate a long-term position, this is around the zone I'd be looking to accumulate it at. So essentially, as soon as we start reclaiming the 21 EMA and the support zone over here, I'd be like, all right, cool, let me start looking to buy a position, right? And then when we put in this high over here and then come down, put in a higher low, I'd be looking to buy the next half of my position, or the final half of my final quarter or third of my position. So if price does not come down to give us a high low at this region, right, if the resistance over here does not prove to be strong, and instead we break through the upside, in that case, I'd be looking for a retest of the Tenkin and Kijun, and then I could be buying my last quarter of my position, right? So that really depends on whether you're accumulating in the zone over here, or you want to accumulate above the Tenkin and the Kijun.
Okay, so
but this is not the zone you want to be a buyer at.
Yeah, because, I mean, we are currently at resistance, right? That Tenkin Kijun right now, guys, is proving as resistance. The Tenkin right now, guys, it comes in at around $1.48. The Kijun comes in at around $1.35. So what I'll be looking for, honestly, is that if we start getting back up over $1.48, only then will I really be looking for the next sort of move to the upside. And that high is going to come in at $1.83. Okay.
Yeah, essentially just turn on all of your indicators on the right hand side, and you have everything drawn in for you: the 21 EMA, the Tenkin Kijun, and if you guys have access to the 4-day SNR, you have your targets as well. Yeah,
I'm also going to go ahead and put on the swing lows and the swing highs. I want to see where that comes in. So we only have a higher low here. We don't have the next. We don't have the next one that's set in. And I agree with this, by the way. Yeah. I mean, if you just look at this price action, we just have 4 consecutive green candles. So we really need that next sort of dip to the downside. So if this actually proves to be, you know, proper rejection, we get rejected off of that Tenkin, and you know, we see the next weekly candle as a red candle, that could potentially be our next higher low for Matic. At which point, that could be a better spot to accumulate if you are a bull on Matic, right? So I'll be looking for that. However, the tip on immediate continuation is pretty much going to be us getting back up over the Tenkin. So this is pretty much it for Matic too. I think these coins are looking good. Yeah, they're getting these little pullbacks, but I feel like they might just come down to put in those higher lows as opposed to anything significant. And why am I saying that? It's because of how how bullish that freaking monthly was. I still think that the higher time frames on Bitcoin, guys, and Bitcoin is the market leader. Bitcoin is what dictates what happens next. The higher time frames on Bitcoin, they're still looking absolutely spectacular. Those closes were freaking strong. So I'm going to be giving that a bit more precedent than any of these minor pullbacks that we're seeing on the charts. And I think these minor pullbacks are warranted too.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my thoughts for on the charts today. Sean, any other final thoughts before we wrap it up?
I think we covered it all.
Cool beans. Now, guys, with this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao.
Ciao, guys.